Well, welcome to another episode of Man Cave. I'm Dave. For this video, I thought I'd just share some of the tools and things that I've made for the mini lathe. And we'll start off with when you buy the Harbor Freight mini lathe, it comes with this guy for a tool post, which only holds a 1/2 inch tool to center it up, and I didn't have 1/2 inch because I said that I had bought their indexable tool set, which seems to work really well. So the first thing I did was I went out and I bought a different tool post. It came with a bunch of different things. They're tool holders. You get that in the picture. But this guy worked nice. I wish I would have seen the other model where the dovetails were flipped between the tool holder and well, I guess the tool holder and what do you call this, the tool. But as you can see too, I got real tired. They come with Allen wrenches in this, and I got real tired of constantly putting an Allen wrench in there to loosen and tighten it. So I went and machined my own little parts here for both sides, and it makes it real easy. You just put the part in there, you crank it down, and you're done. Boom, it's in there solid. So that was one thing that I did. Also, I didn't like their knob. So you can see the kind of work I'm getting here out of steel. This is 1018. So the finish on it's really nice using the carbide indexable set. I like it a lot. So with this, yeah, they give you a couple of these guys, and they all had that thumb screw thing on the top, and you spend most of your life playing with it, trying to get it on center. So I started ooh, there's rust on there. This is just a junk one. So I started manufacturing my own. That way I had a whole set. This one with the hole in it is primarily for aluminum. So this would be my main cutter. This is what I use to chamfer edges with. And the one without the hole in it is the one that I use for steel only. So this is for soft metals, brass, aluminum, and so on. But you can see I just dropped them right in. They're at height. They're dead nuts on center line. And I love the set. It makes it so much faster to do. I got into making some other things too. I saw this on another YouTube video where you can come in and center something in the chuck if you've got some run out going on and it's hard to try to hold it or whatever. So this is a great device. I have used it quite a few times here. I also made a set of boring tools. This was the first one that I got, a Grizzly. And I wanted it real small because in my intro video I said this whole thing with the mini lathe and mill all started because I wanted to make rings because I saw it on a YouTube video. So that one does the rings and it gets them pretty small. That was another size that I bought, and then this one machinist friend gave me for doing some pretty heavy stuff with carbide tip. So this is really nice. I've used this on some pretty big stuff. So there's that set. Then I also made a set of cutoff and grooving tools. This is, I forgot where this one comes from. That came with something, and I learned how to grind and cut and get a nice edge on it, so it feels like it's dull. No, it's sharp. This one just drops straight in, and it's a little bit different because it's got to go lower. I've got a groove in it here so that it actually hits the compound, and it winds up dead center every time. This was the second one that I bought from I think it was MTM Tool Supply, because I was wondering, would a carbide insert do much better? And no, it doesn't. It's same quality as this guy. Then recently I just bought this blade. Actually I bought 3 of them. MHC, high-speed steel, of course China. But it's really thin, and they were cheap. I bought a set of 3 different sizes on Amazon, and they were like $5-6 each. So that was crazy. What the heck? Let me try it. And this cuts beautifully. I love this tool. So there's a set of cutoffs, grooving tools that I made. And also there's a couple of things. I made this guy. so I can drop my dial indicator. Goes in there. Where's the dial indicator? There it is. So this guy, basically with the stud, just drops straight in there, and now I can dial indicate or look at run out, a lot of different things. I've used this quite often. Alright, then also with the tool post that I had bought, they supplied a knurling tool, and this is definitely the worst, most unpredictable knurling tool I've ever seen in my life. Every time I use it, I can use it on the same diameter, and you set it in and you cut once and you got this knurl. You do it an inch down further on the same diameter, completely different knurl. A lot of times it's just completely crossed and messed up, and that's crazy. So I got real tired of using that, and then I saw somebody. I also didn't like the stress that this was putting on the chuck and especially the compound. So I went and made my own little scissor knurling tool, which is 100% predictable. It works every time. The hard part was trying to make the knob, because there's a lot of work to make the threads and the shoulder and all that. But I couldn't use this tool to do the knurl because this is part of the tool. So I had to use the other one, and boy, I was praying that the knurl would come out, because I didn't want to remake this screw again. But this guy works beautifully. It's consistent every single time. So I love this guy. Some of the other tools that I made. First one was, oh yeah, I made this again for the dial indicator. This goes on the, what do you call it? The ways. It goes on the front, so that I can see where the saddle is moving in and out, and yeah, the same dial indicator drops in there. So this gives me some more accuracy on depths and where I'm going. The next one I built was a saddle stop, which was pretty nice. I didn't even think about it. I said, okay, if somebody had a saddle stop, yeah, that's a good idea. So this one actually goes on the front of the mini mill. And then I saw some video, and it's like, duh, it's easier if you make one that goes on the back, because the front has that groove notch on the top of it. The back is absolutely just square. So this just drops straight up, done. And I probably will make some knobs for this guy and make it a lot easier and quicker, because again, I hate grabbing and searching for the Allen wrenches for all this. So there's that. Then also this guy, nice simple little rod. I chuck this up in the mini lathe, and I can put my dial indicator on it, and I can double check the chuck and how much run out or little run out hopefully there is. Where this came from is, if you get a old CD or DVD drive from a computer and you tear it apart, you'll find that the laser rides on 2 of these rods. And these rods are the most precision, absolute straight thing you'll ever find on this planet. So you can't even bend it really. I've had a dial indicator on it and pushed, it doesn't move. So if you get one, you'll have a perfectly straight rod that you can dial indicate with. One of the last things, I just got a small granite block, and I had bought this guy. I think that was a grizzly. But when I got it, this was like the worst thing I had ever seen manufactured in my life. It came with, where is it? I'm looking for the original holder. There it is. That is the original holder. That came with it. It had burrs all over. You couldn't put anything in there. There was all kinds of problems on this side. So, okay, forget this. So I made another one, and I made it out of steel. And putting the dial indicator in there, I'm just cranking hard on this knob trying to close the gap. And it's precision. I've got maybe 1/1000th clearance in there, so you don't have to close the gap much. But I said, forget this, I'm just fighting this thing like crazy. So I made another one out of aluminum, and actually I can't show it to you because it's holding the camera. But I figured, why bother with this? I just used a set screw, and it goes in there and clamps it. And I also put a hole on that end and another set screw, so now I can put my dial indicator here, test indicator there, or there. And also the knobs that came with it were really disgusting. So as you can see, I rebuilt pretty much so everything out of brass and used my new Knurling Tool, and it came out really nice. The only problem with this guy is this is not flat at all. So I tried sandpaper and a bunch of different things, and I got it close, but I can't. I need to find someone that has a machine or whatever you do to just get that flat. But these things, yeah, these were a fortune. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention too, this is why I built this guy. I saw these like $300, $400. I almost fell out of my chair. To get that, I'm gonna build one. Same way with this. This was, I think, $30. It came off of Amazon, and I think it's a Grizzly product. $30. You know, these things are well over $100, and I was hoping or figured it was going to at least be flat, and whatever else came, you know, I could rebuild it. But all right, well, that's the tools, I think. Oh no, there's a few more things that I made. That's right. For the tailstock, I saw a lot of people doing all kinds of different things, putting cams and drilling holes and boring, and you know, why? This works. That's open. That's pretty snug. That's real tight. So this is pretty easy to build. Regular washer, and I needed it a little bit tighter. So I had put, there's a little brass shim in here that's like 2/1000th, and that took it all the way. But the pitch on this screw, you turn it, you're, what is that? That's quarter way, almost 3/4. It's plenty to tighten this thing down. So forget doing all those fancy things. Just make one out of steel. It's great. And the other thing I did was my first is a set of die holders. You know, pretty simple made. This was for a Taiwan set, and after a while I learned that no, not good threads. So I went and bought an American set, and that's an Irwin set. And boy, that day and night difference in the threads that I got. But I also saw a lot of videos out there of different kinds of holders and things, and I had a problem with this because I could only thread so far until I bottomed out on this. So what I thought about is like, hey, piece of cake, you know? I see people making MT2 Morse tape things to go into the tailstock. This guy is real easy. I'll show you what it does, because I realized that. Get this guy out of there. There. This guy has a groove in the bottom of it. So this goes on. You tighten that down. It's not rotating, and I've got the entire depth to thread of the entire tailstock. So that works great. I use this thing left and right. So yeah, that was that's a small chuck. And my dad had a nice 1/2-inch stock. And all of these tapers and things are really cheap on Amazon. So I bought them, and you just have to grind off the end so that they go in all the way into the tailstock. So I think that's it, right? Yep. Okay. And yeah, I'd like to see where can I get? All right. There's what started this whole thing. Rings. These are all made out of nickels, and I'd like to see some of the big boys try to turn something like this. Those are pretty. That's a fat one though. Where's one of the thinnest ones? That is probably one of the thinnest ones that I made. What size is this? This is, how thick is that? 52 thousandths, 49. Yeah, about 50 thousandths. Yeah, like all the way around. That was, yeah, and this. 28 thousandths. Let's say you do that on one of your big lathes. Not possible. And I also saw a video on some machinist that made his own set of wedding rings out of titanium. I didn't really have titanium, but I just figured, what the heck, let me do it out of aluminum. So here's an aluminum set wedding rings designed that they go into one another. I think you can see that. His and hers wedding rings, aluminum. Probably turn your finger green, but... And then I did some fancy stuff here, but I don't know if you can see the grooving in that. Just playing around. Actually, these being made out of nickel, I thought would be nickel, but I guess not, because I made some of them for my daughters as toe rings, and they told me within a week their toe was green. So, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave comments, and I'll be back later.